The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the Naked Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Naked Podcast. Guess who has two thumbs and isn't sick with coronavirus?
Me.
This guy. That's your guy, Alan.
No, it's just Ethan. Alan has corona.
No, I got myself checked.
I'm forever fixing my mic. Hey, it's Kielyn.
Definitely does not have coronavirus. This is Norma.
You know who we hope doesn't have coronavirus?
George Bush.
Actually, Ted Cruz.
Ah.
He's self-quarantined, though.
Yeah, I thought we'd take a moment to, speak a little bit more local politics, not just national. So, yeah, Ted Cruz is back here in Texas, self-isolating from becoming in contact with COVID-19 at the C-SPAN.
Oh, a C-SPAN?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Did he shake his hand, or was he just, around him?
They're being real, hush-hush on the real details. They haven't even said the name of the infected yet.
Well, that's good. Or else people are going to, be fucking pissed at him.
I mean, if the guy who was near the person is negative, I mean, I guess the germ could carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could...
Well, because remember our own North Star patient, she had tested negative on 2 of the tests and then on the 3rd one. So if Home Dude's only taken 1 test, he could still be positive.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
we could all be infected. Our president's infected, and good luck, everybody. Roll the dice.
Roll for initiative.
Roll for luck, more like it.
Shit. Roll for initiative. I mean, if you're trying to go to the grocery store and get some fucking toilet paper, maybe.
Oh.
Everywhere's cleaned out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't you send us a picture earlier of the bleach tile?
Yeah, no, so I was at the HEB on San Pedro, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll grab some more, because I got some Clorox, but I was like, maybe I'll grab some, all-purpose cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
And no, the whole Clorox, everything, if it has disinfectant in it, it was gone. And it doesn't, even, the high, hippie ones, those were gone, too.
Those are last resort. God damn, I gotta pay $5 for a cleaner.
But I'm surprised how I still haven't been able to find a face mask, and I don't even want them for being sick. I'm trying to find them for work. So I was like, because we're standing in the house, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes. I don't know. I mean, you hear it both ways in the media. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. People are just blowing it out of proportion. And then you hear, no, this is serious and this is why. And better to take the best precaution instead of being too lax. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't think that we need to go overboard with overspending on non-perishables, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Just do what you do for any other flu and you'll be fine. All of our health professionals are saying this is sort of like the common cold. Treat it like you would anything else. Just keep on top of your hygiene. It's not hard.
That's what I would say. Make sure you have a stocked pantry. Just that far. Make sure your freezer's full if you have one. You got your pantry stocked, and be ready for things to be low for a little while. Invest
in your household cleaning products right now.
If you
Their
can find
stocks
them.
must be going up.
What do you think, Kielyn?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as preparedness, I would say stop with the going crazy. There's no point because the faster you take those off the shelves, the faster people are not going to be able to replenish them. Mm-hmm. And then there's going to be a short of supply and all of that fun stuff. If anything, just get what you would normally buy and then maybe just a little extra, just 1 extra. And do that over a series of weeks so that you're not crazy stacking up, but you're slowly building something.
So part of me watching all this happens is just well, right now we are worried about our economy going low, but everyone's buying.
Buy.
Yeah, right. And then they're like, oh, well, we might hit recession, but then we're going to have to make all the stuff to replace what they just bought. So,
yep.
I mean, we went through this.
Pretty sound logic. I'm
right.
We went through this, it was almost a year ago when they talked about, oh no, gas is in short supply, and everybody had a freak out for no reason. Just stay calm, wash your hands,
Yeah.
and go about
Cover
your
your
day.
mouth.
I'm really on the economy. I'm just waiting. I'm hanging low. I think everything will blow over and invest in Disney.
Yeah.
It's at 102 a share right now. So if it hits under $100 a share, buy a couple shares if you can.
Yeah. So, one of my coworkers, I don't know if I talked about it on podcast or not, but they had initially planned for a trip to Italy. Well, they didn't do that. They actually ended up going to Cancun. And, Black Carmen, and they went to everything down there. And not many people wearing masks. But on the way back, he decided to wear his mask on the plane because people don't know how to fucking cover their mouths. They're just not even covering, not even making an attempt, not keeping track of their hands.
That's why I stay
Bullshit.
home all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I'm not traveling right now.
Like, he was worried about it.
So, legit, my mom, she has a lot of cruises, right?
Mhm.
So she was up looking cruise lines, what they are. We could all get a 5-day cruise, stay in a suite, and pay about $100 a person
Fuck yeah.
Damn.
for a 5-day cruise.
It's like, can I book that like a year or two in advance just so there's time to blow
But
this
that's like
bill over?
the cruise for this week.
Oh,
Oh,
No, fuck that.
because they're trying to get people back on the ship.
yeah, fuck you.
Everybody
No, I don't want to be
canceled.
quarantined for 3 months.
I mean,
Right?
Wait, so I get to go on a really cheap cruise, and then the government's gonna pay me to stay at home?
yeah,
I
that
think
sounds nice.
I'm kind of rethinking this. We got a 2% chance of dying.
Worth it.
Me and Kielyn are cashing in the rest of our vacation in 2 weeks.
Memories.
We don't have to go anywhere for a whole month.
Yeah.
Stay home, play video games.
Right? Because the
Watch
cruise,
Disney.
even if we
Oh,
pay
that too?
$500 for a cruise for like a suite,
Mm-hmm.
we're on the top of the deck. We have windows, so we get fresh air. We don't have to really leave the room that much. We get off, go out, we wear masks. I think this can work.
Yeah.
Keelan's like,
I have
I'm down.
PTO.
It's like, you want to go to Italy?
Right?
We'll shut you down at the border, but
I mean, I love to look at the border all day long.
Then why are you protesting a border wall? Come on, Alan.
I want to see
that's the only thing you can do right now.
I want to see the Italian border and everything beyond it, not a fucking concrete wall in my face.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down. Well, it's actually metal, and it's almost see-through.
God damn it!
Oh
I can climb over that chicken wire too, motherfuckers.
I would love to do a tour of Europe and start in Italy
Yeah.
and end, kind of Ukraine.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I have a question for you. Would you drive, like, from and to, or would you fly or
Train.
Train?
Drive.
Drive and train.
See, because when we did go to Germany, we started in Frankfurt and we
Mhm.
drove all the way to Switzerland. So I don't know. I kind of like the drive. It was nice to see everything. I got to absorb the culture a little more.
Yeah.
I guess it's just intimidating driving in a foreign country.
I had
Yeah.
this.
Well, we had a driver, so
Oh, okay.
at that point.
I had the same experience when I was younger when we drove from Laredo all the way to Cancun. That was really fun. It was like a solid week to drive there and another back, but it was fun. But
yeah.
I would do like both.
Yeah, so with the quarantining, though, do y'all think that we are going to actually go into a quarantine for at least 2 weeks?
San Antonio?
Yeah.
I don't think for
No.
another. I would say up to 6 months.
Not if, but, or not when, but do you think that, yes, within probably the next few months?
I would like to think that we've been made very transparent. Like, when it comes to our local government, our mayor has been really active on social media and giving updates of
Yeah.
what's going on. Because San Antonio has, several military bases. Some of those evacuees from China, some cruise ship people who live in Texas were quarantined at Lackland. That's super close to us. And then, like Kielyn was mentioning, they released a patient who tested negative twice. She went to a mall. Like, okay, I'm in quarantine for this fucking illness, and I'm gonna go to the mall where I can probably infect the most people
Yeah, in the mall that is, across the highway from the airport. So you start an outbreak in the area of the airport.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, but they handled it really, I don't know. I guess they handled it well. They shut down the mall and had it cleaned. Only a handful of people supposedly came in contact with this lady.
And then the mayor himself, even after it was all disinfected, went through, spent a day at the mall, ate in the food court, like just talked and hung out with everybody.
I didn't know that.
But in a week, if the mayor has
Coronavirus.
COVID,
It's already been a week. He's fine.
Yeah.
But searching lately, after hearing that Ted Cruz is coming back to Texas, blah, 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 and just like, what other like local politicians do we have, or national? And there's Dan Crenshaw in Houston. He's the rep for that area.
Well, Houston is like coronavirus infected right now.
Really?
Yeah. Did you guys not know that?
Yeah, I think they had 9 at the Memorial Hospital. Anyway, sorry.
And just because I brought it up, Dallas confirmed 3 cases this morning.
So there's Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah.
From Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's it. I don't really know any other political figures in our area. I really didn't even know the mayor until I tried to tweet at him, and I had to actually I had a Google search who our mayor was, and then I had a Google search that guy's Twitter just so I could tweet at him.
I follow the mayor on Facebook. I follow one of the councilmen, Manny Perez, I think, for District 4. I've been hoping, because we live in District 10, that our city councilwoman would get a Facebook, but she hasn't.
Oh.
And I want
ours in District 8 doesn't either.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
Do they have a Twitter?
So if they were more online, do you think they would better serve you?
Yeah. Well, my former district person, Manny Pelez, he was great. I mean, he was all over Facebook. He posted live videos. He connected with, his constituents, basically.
The youths.
Well, not even just the youth, but everybody, and he really made that effort to be visible and approachable. I think social media has opened that door.
I see it. Because, I see that all the time. And I'm like, why can't he be my councilman?
And I think that was some of what Beto's initial flavoring was.
Mm-hmm.
That was so different.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really have that, and that kind of forced Ted Cruz to step into that shoe too.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at him; he's probably going to be president in 2024.
I think it really motivated him to be, I guess, hold a different image of reaching across the aisle, because he has. He's worked with AOC. He's done some bipartisan things and tried to compromise on a lot. So good for Ted Cruz. He really turned it around. Beto really woke him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, our mayor, the last mayor I knew we had was when Julian Castro got promoted up to Obama, and then they just replaced him with that one lady. I forgot her name.
Ivy Taylor.
Ivy Taylor.
Oh, I hated that bitch.
Yeah, she did horrible.
Hated her.
Julian Castro did horrible too. I'm glad they promoted him out.
Yeah. I like our current mayor, Nuremberg.
Yeah.
He's all over the place. He's so involved with the community.
And that's what it should be.
Yeah.
I think, and that's why I don't even know who our councilman is here, and I really think they should be a driving force in the neighborhood, in the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Speaking of we have presidential election this year, but it's been really hard to find out what we're doing locally. And what certain things are up for voting.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe because the last time I thought about voting was when I was in my small town, but it seemed like there it was more open. People, you knew what you were voting for, against, and whatnot. And then just here, it's well, I don't even know where my polling place is, and it turns out it's just any of the schools.
Yeah. I think that's about our local councilmen to kind of promote it a little better and get the information out into the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about in a couple episodes back about the caucus. Like, shouldn't our local councilmen be out there trying to get the community to participate?
Yeah, exactly.
People's idea of participation is on Facebook. I like it. I share it. I want to make sure everybody sees it.
Yeah, but even like I said, if our councilman was on Twitter sharing and liking local stuff, we would be a lot more informed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or like, like your neighborhood or like a street that you guys use all the time. Oh, great news. The pothole on whatever was fixed. And everyone's like, fuck yeah. I don't have to hit that fucking pothole again.
So,
guess what? We took out these speed bumps.
Speaking of policy, Mexico actually might be changing some of their policies for more equality for women.
But time. Shit.
I think it's really cool how, because looking at our history, there's always been these big movements. And for us, that's just kind of what they are, history. And so to actually, watch Mexico so close and these women fight for their justice, it's empowering, and I love it. And it sucks that it's so late, but I love that we get to see it happening.
Yeah, I think Mexico's kind of going through an evolution right now where they're kind of standing up for like their civil rights. I've been to Mexico quite frequently this past year, and seeing some conversations, like for example, the LGBTQ community in Mexico. It's very small, still pretty closeted. They're not really,
Sorry, no, it's just when living here in San Antonio. Like, if you go down to Maine and you see the Hispanic gay population, they are usually the most flamboyant.
Well, I mean, it's true though.
So it's just kind of weird for me to hear that in Mexico they're a little,
Well, they're a lot more traditional, and this actually really led to the I guess not traditional. I guess old school or like more Testament style. Living like family dynamic. So the reason why these women went on protest on International Women's Day in Mexico was to show that there's a problem in the country. Women get murdered, hundreds by the day. Recently there was
it was 10 a day.
10 a day. Sorry, they get murdered 10 women a day. Like, that's crazy.
That's way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people. But recently there was a case of these two cases actually. One was a woman where she criticized her husband for drinking too much. So he killed her, then skinned her to dismember her so her body couldn't be identified.
Jesus.
What a horrific crime. And then the second case was a 7-year-old who was kidnapped on the way home from school, where she was raped, tortured, and killed.
So reading into it, and everybody's like counter argument was it? Well, there's like 90 guys died every 10 women that die a day. I don't think their protest was about that.
No.
The way it was is that not only are women dying, they're dying in brutal and inhumane ways.
Well, something else like I wanted to tell you guys about was a podcast I listened to, and they talked about the women of Juarez.
I was about to mention that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not counting what's happened in the past.
So in Juarez, which is by El Paso, if Texas, if geography is not your strong suit like me, these women were being abducted and killed, and I mean, graves were just coming up with these women. I mean, it was up to like the hundreds.
400s almost.
400 women were found during this period, and they thought it was somebody who was maybe like a truck driver from Mexico going into the States, or vice versa, and that was picking up these women who are walking after dark because they're going home from work. They could be working girls, whatever the case may be, but they were showing up and nobody cared. It took forever for the Mexican government to allow the FBI to help investigate it.
And then when the FBI said it's a truck driver on the United States side, Mexico's like, no. That's not a possibility. He has to be Mexican.
Why?
I don't know. I don't
No,
know why
it
he had to be
was the
Mexican.
opposite.
It was the opposite?
It was the opposite. They said that he was Mexican, and at that point, the Mexican government had said, no, 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 like this can't be a Mexican to do this because it's bad publicity.
That's
So like
true,
it just
yeah.
shows you like these women die, and they could die the most horrific ways, and their deaths mean nothing when they mean a whole hell of a lot. And that's what the day, which is UnDiaSinMujeres, so a day without women, and that's what their message was trying to show. But then you have women who can't literally afford to not work, you know, so they wore purple in solidarity of women who are taking that stand. Now the message is great, you know. I'm glad that they had that, but then you had footage of showing, you know, them throwing smoke bombs and
Molotov cocktails. So the video shows that one lady's coming up from behind a group of ladies, and she throws it, and it kind of just falls right on to the other group and sets one of the girls on fire.
Oh, shit.
yeah, or spray painting national monuments. You know, I get the frustration, I get, you know, the anger, but that is just not the way to communicate your message.
You can never prove a point by acting uncivilized.
I know there's a lot of rage, there's a lot of passion, but to get people to listen, fighting has never been the answer. They could have just, you know, done a sit-in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a peaceful protest.
In the United States, I think some of our movement towards, you know, more women empowerment was because our mothers had more of an influence. You know, if you're thinking it like growing up, you saw more women influencing you than you really did men. I guess, or at least I think so.
But Hispanic culture is always like they're very pro-feminine though.
No, I mean not really.
But I only can compare it to, you know, Texas culture, which is a lot different than Mexico's culture.
It is a lot different. I mean, even now, I mean, I've encountered people who say, "Oh, you know, when I need to turn on my customer service voice, I just act like I'm gay in the workplace." Like, you know, like you would never hear that here now because it's just not a social norm. So they're going through that change, but also in Mexico, you know, abuse over 60.8% of women in Mexico say they experience some type of abuse in their relationships, whether that's physical, emotional, you know, etc. Most of it's physical.
So as women, what do y'all think can be done to help improve those kind of situations?
I think women need to take a stand. Say, I'm not going to stand here for this shit. Like, you're not going to treat me this way. I'm valued way too much.
Exactly. They, you know, they're going to be smart about the way they do this. They can't be quick. They're going to have to plan, and they're going to have to show them why. I don't know. That sounds bad. Show them why they deserve the respect, but they have to take that respect back.
Exactly.
I think if they drove out, if the women get together and they started beating their kids' ass, and they drove out the idea of the cartels in some certain areas, I think that would help with the, you know, violence.
I would say that most moms don't want that for their kids.
Yeah, no,
you
I know. No, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. I think really to start somewhere is you got to start with the younger generation and just
change their ideals. Absolutely, I 100% agree with that. There's in Mexico. There's such a machismo culture. You know, like the woman is submissive, the man is dominant, the man has the final word. You know, like very Old Testament, very Catholic, you know, type of households, and that's not okay. So by taking a stand and saying, I'm not going to stand for this, you know, whether it's professionally, in your marriage, in your family, you know, I think they can do it. But you're right, they do have to be smart about it.
Why'd you stand at me?
It's been a while since you talked.
Oh,
Everyone
sorry.
was just giving you a moment to...
No, I agree completely. It'll take them some time for that change to stick, but it'll stick. I mean, fuck, it took us a long time for, you know, equal rights for black people and equal rights for women. And hell, we're still like struggling with the whole equal rights for
Well, I guess
equal
defining
rights
what that
thing.
looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hardest part about people is that when they start a movement, they never realize the movement's not for them.
Mm-hmm.
So like these women now, they're not gonna really see the benefits of a lot of things, but their daughters will.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's so important to me to like exercise my right to vote, because I know a lot of people died for my right to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
But you know, Mexico definitely felt the effects from it. They had, I think, like a 2.9 million like loss that day. No women were in like hardly any women were in stores, you know, working. And I mean, they felt it. So I think the message was heard. I just hope that their president doesn't just put a band-aid over this for now and it gets forgotten. But you know, you kind of like have that.
They can't let it be forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna come. Like, is this? If the women of Mexico are ready to make this change, they gotta they can't let it die.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, you know, the Band-Aid could be put in place to hold it there for now, but it's not, like you said, it's not going to be them that feel the healing of it. It's going to be later on.
Yeah.
The daughters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, women in Mexico, you guys are beautiful. I mean, being there so often, most hardworking people.
See, I've only ever really been to the tourist areas, so like I've never been to Mexico City or anything.
I have. It's really nice. A lot of fucking traffic though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to go to New York, I need to go to LA, and I need to go to Mexico City in my lifetime.
LA is not that great.
No.
I know, but you know, you just like a
Just to
pilgrimage
go.
thing, yeah.
You have to.
I want to revisit New York and Mexico City one day.
Well, maybe not now.
Yeah, no.
Hey, right now, cheap flights,
Fuck yeah, we'll go for a weekend, babe.
yeah,
Heck
no
yeah.
crowds.
You know, my brother was
No crowds.
actually in Mexico City when they had their person who tested positive in the airport. He literally left that same day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's like my sister and her husband were in Roy, Washington, which is an hour south of Kings County,
Oh, God.
Oh,
where the outbreak
shit.
started 2 weeks ago
Ooh.
or 3 weeks ago.
Yikes.
She hasn't been responding to me
Oh, no.
to all the videos and stuff I've been sending.
She doesn't think you're funny.
I'm not funny. Like, hey, y'all need to keep an eye out for this.
Wash your hands.
If you see
Yeah.
symptoms, talk to your doctor immediately. So, well, this was another nice recording from the Naked Podcast.
Oh, yeah, we're glad to be back.
Yeah.
Woody woot.
I know we take a day off, and it was just like, I miss it.
Right, I got blown
I'm
up by my
dead.
sister and by some friends of my old job. What up, guys? Shout out to you.
Hi, Alan's friends. We read all your text messages.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. We love you guys. David, hashtag top fan on Facebook.
Hey,
Thank you.
Number one fan.
Don't forget to visit our website at www.officialmillennials.com. We have 2 blogs posted currently.
Ooh.
Get it, Norma. How's it been riding again?
Oh, it's like kind of like riding a bike, but there's like rust on the chain.
She forgot to put some WD-40 on it.
Just a little bit. Alan has been so kind to brave editing my things because I fight him every step of the way.
So if you go read the blog, you can tweet at OG_the Naked Pod and critique Alan's edits.
Please do. And send me your mama jokes, because apparently this is a thing.
They have to be nice your mama jokes.
Yeah.
Your mom is so nice.
Yes.
She folded my clothes.
Your mom is so nice. She included 2 lunches for your friend who didn't have one.
Aww.
Your mama's so nice. She let me sleep over tonight.
Well, that was kind of mean. I guess that's kind of... I don't know how to take that one.
Your mom is so nice. She let us have some Kool-Aid jammers and pizza rolls.
Ooh.
This is an official Millennials production.